Good morning to my beautiful YouTube family or wherever you're watching this video. It's been a while since I have recorded a yoga sequence, a yang flow. We are going to move, we're going to sweat. I'm aiming for about 30 to 40 minutes. In this sequence, I have no idea where we're going. I never plan any sequences, but I do want to throw in some twists and I want to get a little creative. So let's see what unfolds. Before I start, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel if you can. It helps me support you and it's reciprocal as well. So jump on and click that like button below and subscribe. This is definitely not a beginner practice. I have plenty of beginner sequences and movement patterns on my channel, so please feel free to check that out. But other than that, we're going to get started. We are going to start straight in a squat this morning. So if you need to use your block, then please feel free to come into that with the block underneath the sit bones. So just settling at the top of our mat into our Yogi Squat, just taking a few movements here that feel good for you. You might sway a little bit into the hips, you might move the neck around. And then I just invite you to shut down your eyes. Today I want to bring into the practice the acknowledgement of when we are judging ourselves. When we can become the observer or the witness of our judgment or criticism, that's when we become present to be able to do something about it. I'll be sharing teachings today from Wayne Dyer and verse number 47 of the Tao Te Ching on how we can live without judgment. So in this moment, I just invite you to acknowledge how you feel today. To acknowledge anything that's going on emotionally, mentally, physically, and choose to see it differently. Choose to be curious, not critical, about what's unfolding in your mind, what you're experiencing physically, and allow yourself to give yourself some compassion. The energy of compassion and allowing feels so much better than judging, criticizing, or trying to fix it. So give yourself permission to just let it be as we sit in that for another 5 breaths. Just closing down your eyes now, finding a position that suits you as we start to come into our breath. So as you breathe in, feel the belly, the ribcage, and the lungs expand. And as you breathe out, let yourself soften and melt. You are now here. Whatever has happened in your day before this moment is now relevant. Whatever is happening afterwards is out of our control. Embrace this time and give yourself this nurturing, this interruption of thoughts and dialogue, and the opportunity to choose again. Take one more full breath in and stay for your exhale. We're just going to bring the hands out in front and start to do some circles here. So warming up the wrists a little bit different today. So circling around the wrist joints, change direction. This time making a fist and a star with your hands. You know, they say that we should be in a squat position for at least 5 minutes a day, and in a hang position, hanging from something, for about 2 minutes a day, to really elongate and get space between our vertebrae. And I know we all have 7 minutes a day to do that. Go a little bit faster with your hands, starting to get the blood moving into the fingertips for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lifting up our hips, letting the head dangle. We're going to warm up that posterior chain. We're going to inhale, lift the heart, drop the butt. And exhale, lift the butt, drop the hands. Inhale, lift the heart, drop the butt. And exhale. Let's just keep going with this. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. I'm just going to be here for the rest of the class, for the next 30 minutes. Just in case any of you turned that off, I'm just kidding, it's all good. We've got 2 more. Should be starting to feel this in your posterior chain. Oh, beautiful. So the next time that we come up, the bum is up, the head is down, we're going to find a forward fold. Bending your knees as much as you need to here to literally let your torso cascade over your legs. Finding length in the spine, let go. Breathe in and breathe out. All right, wriggling the feet underneath your hips. From here, bend into those knees, bringing the butt down. We're kind of in this crouch squat position. The weight is in the heels, the toes are nice and light. Engage through the belly, finding this low chair pose here. So breathing in, really squeezing here, belly to spine. And then breathe out, let the hands go towards the back of the mat. Inhale, low chair pose. And exhale, those quads should be burning already. 3 more times. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. 1 more time. Inhale and exhale, fold forward. Well done. Plant those hands down. We're finding our first high plank. Fingers spread really nice and wide. Right, and you've always got the option to come to kneeling plank, right? So to modify your plank pose. If not, belly to spine, press into those hands, round your upper back, and then draw the heart space up and in. Visualize you have a fire underneath your belly and you're pulling your belly button away from the tip of the flame. Take a full breath in, and exhale will come to a child's pose. Take 3 breaths here, knowing that this pose is always available to you at any time. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let go of any expectations that you have on this class or what yoga is. And come into this like you're seeing it for the first time. Shoshin, a beginner mind. A place where we're always learning. Take 1 more breath in. And stay for your exhale. Bend into the elbows, slide the chest all the way through. And we're going to do 3 little back bends here coming through our cobra, our oscillating cobra. So from here, inhale, slowly press the pubic bone down. Peel up the spine. The head is the last to come up, and exhale, come back down. 2 more times like that. Inhale. No need to rush, exhale. 1 more time. Full breath in. Full breath out. From here, bring the hands by the side of the chest. Again, know that any of this is optional. Push back with your heels and feel your quads lift. Pull the belly button in and up, squeeze the tush together. Now choose to stay here or hover off the ground for 10, 9, elbows back, 8, belly to spine, 7, squeeze the glutes, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, push up, high plank, well done, and exhale, downward facing dog. Move your tails, so wag your tail left and right, circling through the joints. Let this feel good. Maybe both knees touch down. Maybe you lift back up. Wherever you are, take 3 more breaths. And then eventually rest into stillness. Just turning your heels out slightly so that you can't see your heels. So just looking back and really drawing the hips back here. So you've got pretty much equal weight back into the hips and into the hands. So we're not taking all of that load onto our hands. You'll notice my knees are bent slightly. That's totally fine. Listen into your legs. From this position in our downward facing dog, we're going to bend our knees a lot and then press back up with our hips. We're just going to do 2 more of those. So we're going to do some single leg squatting, I think, in this sequence. We'll see how we go. So we just want to warm up through the knees and the ankle joints. One more time, bend those knees, and this time we're going to step to the top of our mat. Take an inhale, find a halfway lift, and then exhale, fold it forward. So belly to spine, ripple up your spine 1 vertebra at a time, coming to the top of your mat. Your next inhale, the hands rise, and exhale, bend those knees and fold forward. Take a halfway lift, hands on shins. Exhale, step back, high plank to low plank, but take your time. So knees or toes, maintain the protracted shoulders, elbows in. Shift forward. Maybe you hover at elbow height for a second or 2, and then inhale, sweep the heart forward, pull the shoulders back and eyes forward, up dog, and exhalation, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. So just breathing in and breathing out. We're going to go through that one more time. So bending those knees, looking forward. This time you can jump, step, handstand, hop, float, over to your hands, halfway lift, breathe in, and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, ripple and rise up the spine. Hands come up, reach tall, and exhale, folding forward. Breath in, halfway lift. Breath out, plant those hands down, step back, slowly venture through your high to low. No need to rush. Maybe pausing for like 5 seconds in that low chaturanga position, and then inhale, sweep through, shoulders back, heart forward, eyes forward, and exhalation, downward facing dog. Let's go straight into our first little sequence. We're going to inhale, sweep the right leg behind us and high. Exhale, bend and open. Now from here, feel free to just move or rotate your ankle joint. So again, as I said, we are possibly going to go into some single squatting. So important that the ankle and the Achilles and the knee and the hip are nice and warm. So from here, we're going to create a figure of 8. We're going to bring the right knee over towards the left elbow or wrist. Maintain a protraction in the shoulders, and then bring the right knee over to the right. Then sweeping that right hip up and over in a figure 8 style, we're going to go again. Right knee comes over to left elbow or wrist, over to the right, and then up and over one more time. A slow figure of 8 into that hip, over to the left, into the right, and then up and over. Opportunity to stay here. If you're already feeling quite open, lean into that left hand, and slowly coming over as the right toes touch down, finding an early flip dog. Take a full breath in, stay for the exhale, look down. From here, slowly step the right foot towards the top of the mat, but take your time, and we land in a low lunge. So finding ourselves into this low runner's lunge position, fingertips onto the ground. Take a full breath in and then exhale, pressing back, finding pyramid variation. 2 more times, enjoy this. Inhale, low lunge, and exhale, pyramid variation. 1 more time, inhale, low lunge, and exhale, pyramid variation. Beautiful. From this position, spin the blade edge down of your back foot, bring the right hand on the inside of your right knee, and straight away finding our way to Parsvottanasana. So side angle pose. Really, really breathing here, using your breath just to stabilize, pushing down through that right heel and really lengthening out the left leg here, pressing into blade edge of the foot. Take a breath in. As you exhale, bring the left hand down. Come onto the left tippy toes as we start to open up the twist now, bringing the right hand to the sky. Full breath in, full breath out. From here, look down as we walk now to the left. So slowly transitioning this lunge over into the left side. Bending into that left knee, straightening right. Now we're going to stay a bit upright today and then bringing the hands up. So coming into this kind of quite a strong Cossack variation. Really squeeze the legs here, especially that long leg. So feel the quadricep squeeze and engage and feel the right kneecap lift, pushing down through that left heel. Take a full breath in. As you exhale, walk back to the front. Listen up here, bend the right knee a lot and elevate the back leg, right? So warrior 3 prep, feeling the length in that right hamstring. Beautiful, take a breath in and we're gonna exhale, tuck the left foot in and come into a little crouching squat. Inhale, kick that left leg back and then exhale, crouching squat. And keep your fingertips on the ground. Inhale, kick back and exhale, squat. 2 more times. Inhale, kick back. And exhale, squat. 1 more time. Inhale, kick back. And then exhale, bring the left foot to meet its partner at the front. Forward fold. Breathe in, halfway lift. And breathe out. Plant the hands down. Go through high to low. Please take your time here. Don't rush it. Maybe pause for a little bit at elbow height. Inhale, sweep the chest through, pull the shoulders back. And exhalation, downward facing dog. Straight away lifting that left leg, breathe in. Breathe out, bend and open. Rotate the ankle joint of the left, a couple of circles one way and a couple of circles the other. And we're going to move into those figure of eights. You can always drop your back knee if you wish here. Bringing the left knee over to the right side, tricep, elbow or wrist over to the left, round the upper back and up and over as we figure eight. Bringing left knee over to the right, over to the left, up and over, figure eight. There's 1 more to go here. Bringing that over to the right, over to the left. Now up and over, opportunity to stay here or ground into that right hand. Slowly flip your dog or come into wild thing. Left toes touch down. Inhale, open up. Stay for the exhale. Look down. Try not to use your hands. Slowly step the left foot to the top left corner of the mat. Low runner's lunge. Doesn't matter how you get there, just give it a go. Right our fingertips, back right toes. Take an inhale. Exhale, press it back. Should feel pretty good. Inhale, sliding it forward to that lunge. And exhale, pressing it back. 1 more time. Inhale, find the lunge. And then exhale, pressing it back. From here, we're going to start to lean into that left foot. Spin the blade edge of the right foot down. Parsvakonasana, side angle pose. Any variation welcome. So get a feel for what it's like in those hips for the moment. Just a few breaths here. Beautiful. Notice what it feels like in the body. Take a full breath in. As you exhale, bringing the right hand down, come onto those right tippy toes, and we twist now, opening up that left hand and feeling this divine twist into the body. So really elevating up here as much as possible, pushing through that left heel. Take a breath in, look down, slowly walk to the right. And again, we're going to stay a bit upright here for a bit more strength today. So coming into that Cossack variation, bring the hands out to the side. Take a few breaths here. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Take 1 more breath in. Slowly walk back to the front. Left toes face forward. Keep a bend in that left knee. Lift your right leg. Breathe in. Breathe out. All right, let's do those little squats. Take an inhale. Exhale, we come into like this little crouch position, back toes tuck under, and then exhale, kick the right leg away. Inhale, come in round the spine, crouch, and exhale, kick that back heel away. Good, inhale, come in and crouch, and exhale, press it away. We've got 2 more, I believe. I could be wrong. I think I did 5. I hope I did 5. If not, you've got 2 extra on this side. Well, 1 more to go. Crouch, kick away, and then bringing the right foot next to its partner and forward fold this time. Breathe in, breathe out. Let's flow that sequence out. So slowly rippling up your spine, 1 vertebra at a time. Inhale, raise up the hands, and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, this time step, jump, float, fly back, whatever floats your boat, so to speak. Move through your vinyasa or skip it. Inhale, up dog cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, right leg lifts, breathe in. Now bend and open, exhale, opportunity to come over just for 1 breath. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale, looking down, step right foot towards the top of the mat, runner's lunge. Inhale, open the heart space. Exhale, fold over the quad. Inhale, coming back, spin blade edge of back foot down. Right hand in front of right foot, Parsvakonasana. Take a full breath in. On your exhale, left hand down, left tippy toes. Inhale, lunge twist. Exhale, look down, walk to the left. Bend the left knee, straighten the right. Take a full breath in here. Now exhale, spin back to the front. This time, warrior 3, hands to heart. Take a full breath in and exhale. We're throwing in a shrimp squat here. So working through your degree, either hovering the knee or tapping down for 1. Coming back up, warrior 3. For 2, tap down, back up, warrior 3. Last one for 3, tap down, shrimp squat, warrior 3, hold for a breath in, and then exhale, fold forward. Well done. Inhale, halfway lift, plant the hands, step, jump, float back, or skip it and come back to a downward facing dog. You can always skip out these vinyasas. Let's find our down dog. Beautiful, left side, left leg lifts, breathe in. Exhale, bend and open, opportunity to flip it over. Inhale, open the heart space. Looking down, exhale, step left foot to the top of the mat, runner's lunge. Inhale, open the heart space, drop the hips. Exhale, send the hips back. Inhale, Parsvakonasana, side angle pose. And exhale, right hand comes down. Come onto the tiptoes of the right foot. As you exhale, look down, walk to the right. Bend the right knee, straighten the left. Take a full breath in. Exhale, swivel back to the front, warrior 3. Pause. Shrimp squats on the other side, or any variation like what we did before, totally fine. Take an inhale. Exhale, coming to your shrimp squat, round the spine, knee touches down, back to warrior 3. Inhale. And exhale. Take your version. Inhale, warrior 3, and exhale, shrimp. Inhale, warrior 3, and exhale, fold forward. Take 5 breaths. Notice any areas that we might be judging ourselves here, or criticizing, maybe our shrimp squats or whatever it might be, and saying, oh, why can't I get low to the ground, or why does it look a certain way? That is absolutely a relevant way of thinking. I invite you to say thank you to yourself, or to be curious about what's unfolding in front of you. These things that show up for us when we're faced with difficulty, perfection, people pleasing, or wanting it to be more, is an opportunity for us to dive in and come back to love. It is perfect just the way it is, without the need for more. Take 1 more breath in. And as you exhale, fold forward, plant those hands, step back, optional vinyasa. High to low. 5 breaths, downward facing dog or a child's pose. Close down your eyes here. Wayne Dyer says, you can begin changing your view of judgment as a valuable or important activity by being aware of when you're doing it to yourself. then all you need to do is simply start substituting noticing for judging. From this perspective, you'll realize pretty quickly that you prefer to observe what you're doing or feeling rather than critiquing yourself. Calling your behavior bad or good just pits you against yourself and others. By using competition, punishment, or dislike as your motivational markers, hatred, anger, and threats become necessary because love, acceptance, and kindness can't be trusted. Let's come back up to a downward facing dog. All right, second sequence. Inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, bend and open. Inhale, straighten, and exhale, bring the right knee over to the left elbow and pause. Slide that right foot out to the left. Keep the arms in the same position though. We're in a plank pose, so shoulders are stacked over those wrists. Both legs are active here on the blade edge of that right foot, fallen triangle set up. Now you can choose to stay here, or of course start to loosen the load in that left hand and start to open up into your version of fallen triangle, squeezing those quads here, really pressing into that base hand, which is stacked under your right shoulder. Good, take a full breath in, and as you exhale, we're gonna open ourselves out into a beautiful straddle. Take a full breath in and exhale, fold forward. You can keep this active. I'm gonna point my toes and squeeze my quads, but you do you. Take a full breath in. This should feel pretty nice. So just enjoy it while we're here, because who knows what's coming next. And exhale, fold forward. Do that 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale. 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale. All right, guys. So coming back, we're going to externally rotate the right shoulder joint. So right fingers face forward. Have a good external rotation into that right shoulder. Bend your left knee. We're coming to 3-legged dog. Push through that left heel. Ground down into that right hand. Sweep the right leg up and behind you. Inhale, 3-legged dog. And exhale, step the right foot outside the right hand. Beautiful. So we've got right hand on the inside of the right foot. Coming back to Parsvakonasana, been here before. Let's inhale, open up. Beautiful. Now this time you might want to loosen the load on that right hand. Again, any variation is welcome here. Some of you might want to come into a half a bind or a full bind. Again, a little bit of twisting thrown into this practice. Squeeze that left leg. Breathe here. Find where you need to be. Take 2 more breaths in your chosen shape. Beautiful. Unravel the bind if you had it, sweeping yourself up now into Warrior 2. So finding your variation of Warrior 2, it might even feel nice for you to interlace those hands behind the back, which is where I'm going to stay today. Nudge that right knee open over your right toes. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good. Take 1 more full breath in. And stay for the exhale. This is where you might want to block towards the top of your mat. So if you've got one, feel free to use it there. Straightening that front leg, reverse triangle. So inhale, reaching that right hand up. And exhale, you might need to adjust that back foot. Coming to Trikonasana. Please use a block here if you need to under that right hand. And setting up Trikonasana. Again, I'm not going to go through too many descriptions of the poses or adjustments. Again, I mentioned at the start, this is not a beginner class. So I'm just going to relatively call out the poses. Feel free to, again, check out my other videos for more beginner sequences if that's what you're after. Take 1 more full breath in here and stay for the exhale. Re-bend into that front knee. We're finding our way to half moon. So try not to launch into this. Use your body weight and find a lift of the back leg. The right hand is either to a block or to the ground. Again, please use what you need here. The blocks are really great helpers if that's something you would like to use. I love using blocks in my practice, so don't ever be afraid to use them. They are not weak, they are our friends. So finding your version of Ardha Chandrasana, some of you might like to bend that back knee and possibly look towards where your foot is. Holding for 3 more breaths. Let it be a little wobbly. Mine's wobbly today. Perfect. It's not meant to be perfect. Take 1 more breath. As you exhale, we're going to turn this into an aeroplane pose just for a moment or two. Hips are square. And then we're going to bring the left hand down to a block or the floor and place the right hand on the right hip. So we're setting up our revolved half moon, a really challenging but delicious pose. You might choose to stay here or start to rotate and twist your right side of the chest open. Maybe you look up, maybe you look down. Keep pressing back with that left heel. Take a full breath in. Stay for the exhale. Look down. We're going to come up to a standing balance. Slowly bringing your left knee up. And we're now going to counter twist. Placing right hand, you should be a little sweaty by this point, right hand on left knee. And start to look down as you chase your left fingertips with your gaze. 5 breaths. Just like we're wringing out toxicity, armor, getting rid of any toxins that are not necessary in the body and our digestive system. Take 1 more full breath in. Stay for the exhale. Slowly step back, crescent lunge. Take your time. There's no need to rush. Beautiful. From your crescent pose, take a full breath in. Reach up nice and tall. You can interlace those hands or keep them apart. Stay for the exhale. Beautiful. Revisiting Skandasana. It should feel really nice. This time we're going to drop low. So dropping down and just experiencing that beautiful stretch into the groins. Taking any variations here, maybe even the hands. Drop down and the head surrenders. But just 1 more breath only. As we exhale, come back to the front of the mat. Going through a vinyasa or choosing to skip it, high to low plank chaturanga, or completely skip it, your choice. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. We're nearly there, guys. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. Take 1 more breath in and an open mouthed exhale. Let's do it. Left leg lifts, inhale. A bend and open exhale. Inhale, straighten, bringing the left knee towards that right elbow and pause. Now start to shoot that left leg over to the right, pause. Keep your shoulders over your wrists here, so setting up that fallen triangle. You should feel compression in the left side of the waist. Either choosing to stay here or squeeze both your legs. Inhale, find fallen triangle. 3 deep breaths here. Strong legs. Lift up the hips here. Take 1 more breath in and slowly open yourself out into a straddle, torso long. Find an active quad here, whether that's pointing or flexing the toes. Take an inhale. And exhale, finding a long spine. We have 3 delicious long breaths here. So inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, draw yourself forward and down. Inhale. And exhale. 1 more, guys. Inhale. And exhale. I know that feels really good, but we've got to move on. I'm on a bit of a time limit today, so slowly coming back up. Listen in carefully with this transition. Bring the left hand up and over. The fingertips will face forward. Bend your right knee, press into the right heel. Sweep the left leg up and back, 3-legged dog. Inhale. Exhale, slowly step the left foot outside the left hand, pause. Finding Parsvakonasana, again side angle. Blade edge of back foot goes down, 5 breaths this time. So finding your variation again, maybe you find the hand off the ground, maybe you come into a bind and breathe. Take one more breath. Slowly unravel, finding yourself to Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. So settling now into your version of your warrior, either hands out or maybe they are interlaced behind your back. Breathe in. Breathe out. 2 more breaths. Just be. Be in the difficulty. Be in the challenge. Be in the heat. Be in the things that push us and say thank you. At least we get to experience it. Take one more breath in. Stay for the exhale. Starting to straighten that front leg. Inhale, sweep the left hand high. And exhale, Trikonasana, your version here. Again, please use a block underneath that left hand if that feels good for you. If not, finding your variation into this delicious shape. Couple of breaths here. Slowly from here, look down. Bend your left knee. How much can you move with curiosity into your Ardha Chandrasana half moon? So finding our way there slow. I'm just going to step back a little bit so I'm in screen. Left foot is down, left hand to block or ground, right hand lifts. And again, maybe you look at bending that back knee and finding your way into Chapasana, if that feels good for you. That bottom hand can even lift as you kick into the hands. Beautiful, take a breath in. Slow transition to aeroplane. Try to catch the wobbliness, is that a word? It is now. Through the middle. And then finding your way to revolved half moon. Right hand comes down to block or ground. Left hand to hip. Great place to start. Flex the back foot. Start to rotate the left chest open. Maybe the left hand lifts. We hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly, we're coming up to stand. Bringing the right knee with us. Pausing maybe here. Going with those wobbles. Left hand to right knee, guys. This is it. Twist it towards the right, bringing out that digestive system, clearing out toxicity. Breathe. Take a breath in, come back to center, slowly step back. High crescent lunge, don't rush it. Back toes chase the back of the mat. Take a full breath in, stay for the exhale. Sweep yourself to the right, bend the right knee, straighten the left, and then surrender. Breathe in. Breathe out. Maybe with no hands, creep yourself back to the front of the mat. Both hands plant down, step back, high plank. Take a full breath in. Last vinyasa, slowly we're lowering for 8, 7, elbows back, shoulders forward, head is forward. So you really want to keep the space between your ears and your shoulders here. Stay with me, hold at the bottom here for 5, 4, 3, 2, all the way down to the ground. Untap your toes and literally just rest here as you close down your eyes. Breathe in, breathe out. As you start to move away from judging yourself, you'll no longer need or want what Lao Tzu calls the fixed mind. Thus, allegiances that pitted you against the people you thought of as them will begin to dissolve. The innumerable categories that helped you organize your own labels become totally irrelevant and unimportant when you change the way you look at their so-called value. As your worldview changes, you'll start to extend goodness and love to everyone you encounter. From here, we're coming into Sphinx pose. So placing the forearms down on the ground, untuck those toes, reset them back down. A gentle push down of the pubic bone today because this is a shorter class. It's not taken as a yin pose today. So we're going to take 5 breaths in Sphinx, or of course, if it feels good in your spine, you're welcome to come up into seal pose, pressing that pubic bone down, but making sure we're not bunching the shoulders up around the ears. Breathe. You know, when we judge another person, we say more about ourselves than the person we're judging. When we judge another or ourselves, we need to use that moment as our teacher so that we can come back to love. When we judge another or ourselves, it means we are lacking love. Breathe in and slowly, slowly lower yourself down to the ground. We are going to twist from our bellies today and twist into more the thoracic, and also enjoy a delicious pec minor, pec major stretch. And also for the delts, left hand out to the side. Turn your cheek so that your left cheek is on the ground. Bend your right elbow, come into right fingertips, and slowly peel open, opening the left side of the chest, coming into a scorpion twist. That right foot may or may not touch down on the ground, it doesn't matter. Take 5 breaths here, really opening up that left shoulder. Some of you might want to inhale, lift the right arm, and exhale, bring it behind, again coming into a bind. Your choice. Breathe in. Breathe out. Unravel and unwind from that bind and slowly come back down. And let's change sides. Right arm extends, start to peel yourself open. Now you might choose just to stay here depending on how your body feels, or maybe you bring that left arm up and over and come into your version of a bind. Breathe in, breathe out, come back to your belly. Super slowly, we're going to just press up. And gently just walk your legs through. And she's going to come into seated butterfly for a bit of a hip opener today. I rarely go into this pose, but today it just feels really nice to go there. So of course, if there is any other hip opener you would like, you're welcome to take it, but we're just going to spend 5 breaths here. So take an inhale, and then exhale, we're going to pull ourselves down again. This is a much more yang flow today. So there are over 40 videos now just on yin on this channel. So I'll tag one at the bottom of this video that you can do as a complimentary 20 minute 31 after, but it is so important to do the opposite of what we do often. We're in a world where there is so much yang, right? So much pedestaling, so much competition and perfection and people pleasing, and so much striving. But we can go through life with this constant need and search for more, but with all the striving we never ever arrive, right? The same goes for our movement practice. If we are just doing these strong flows and not incorporating some yin or breath work or meditation, we're going to break. I've been there twice. Duality in movement and what we do and the pace of our life is so important. Take a breath in and a breath out, and slowly we're going to come up. We're going straight into Shavasana. I have taken you through many twists, so I invite you to just lie down onto your backs. Get comfortable for the next 2 to 3 minutes as I just read one more paragraph from Wayne Dyer in this book, Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life. Eventually you will find that you can feel non-judgmental compassion for the mistreated, even when their way of seeing things causes you and yours pain. You can send out kindness not only in response to kindness, but especially when you are the recipient of cruelty. Why? Because as Lao Tzu reminds you in this verse, the nature of your being is kindness. It is impossible to give to others what you are not, and you are not judgmental. You see yourself in everything without the need to criticize them or yourself. Fully surrender now to this space in Shavasana, letting your body be held for about another minute. Just be. Know that you have all you need without the need for more. These last 3 breaths, I want you to place your hand on your heart and repeat an affirmation. I choose to turn my judgment to acceptance today. I choose to turn my judgment to acceptance today. I choose to turn my judgment to acceptance today. Breathe in. Breathe out. Keeping your eyes closed in your Shavasana, wriggling your toes and your fingers. And just really dive into the gratitude and appreciation of just getting to have today. Of landing in this moment, giving yourself space to practice yoga, of having 2 feet and a heartbeat, of being in a body that serves you. Say thank you. Thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. Breathe in. Breathe out. When you're ready, keeping your eyes closed, gently roll to your side and eventually up to seated. Remembering quite simply again that when we judge another, we are saying more about ourselves than the person we're judging. When we judge another, it is an opportunity for us to question why we are judging and ask ourselves the question, what is it that my heart needs if I feel the need to judge? Where can I top up my cup of self-love? And that is on us. Bring your hands to your heart space, honoring this place of you, this true, authentic, beautiful, raw, and imperfect self. Bring the thumbs towards the mouth as you pay attention to the words you speak, for they become the house you live in. And the thumbs to the third eye, because not one of us can give from an empty cup. In order to receive love, right, we need to fill our cup first. In order to give love, our cup must be full. From my heart to yours, namaste. With so much thanks and gratitude, guys. I needed that probably as much as you did today. Those teachings are from Wayne Dyer's book, Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life, based on the teachings from ancient philosopher Lao Tzu as he wrote the 81 verses of the Tao Te Ching. Such incredible teachings, especially for this time. I'm Meg. I am the author of the book that is out end of May 2022, Watch Your Language. I'm also running the Perfection Pandemic workshops across New South Wales from this week. If you are interested in checking out the Perfection Pandemic workshops, focusing on perfectionism as a whole and how that has now escalated into our social media, such as body editing apps, selfie and Snapchat dysmorphia, and how that is affecting our mental health, affecting our eating disorders, suicide and self-harm rates across the world, then I invite you to go over to my web page, watchyourlanguage.com, and jump on a location near you, or get in touch if you want me to bring the Perfection Pandemic to your school to have a chat with kids. I'm so passionate about it, and these body editing apps need to be shut down, and I will do everything in my power to have this done. You are more than enough as you are. We do not need to edit our bodies. We do not need to change our faces. But how we can help our children and our kids is be the most authentic, raw and imperfect version of ourselves in real life and showing up on our social media feeds. My name's Meg. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. I'd love to know how you found this practice. So let me know in the comments, and let me know what kind of a practice you guys would like next. Biggest love and gratitude as always, and remember to watch your language.